By the third time I read those 5 words, I wasn't in my kitchen anymore. I was 17. I was 26. I was every version of me that had ever been blindsided, all at once. The text just said, "Can we talk later?" If I hadn't caught in that exact moment what my body was actually doing, I would have walked into that conversation already defended, already braced, already fighting someone who hadn't done anything wrong at all. And I would have called that person a problem when the actual problem was 10 years sitting quietly in my chest. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened in my body in those moments, second by second. In the exact moment I realized I wasn't reacting to that text at all. I was reacting to every text like it, going back years all at once. It was a Tuesday. Nothing special about that day. Ordinary Tuesday. Ordinary afternoon light through the kitchen window. Dishes still in the sink from breakfast. My phone lit up on the counter. 5 words. And before I'd even finished reading it the first time, my chest had already tightened, like a hand closing slowly around it. Patient, unhurried. My own heartbeat got loud in my ears. That specific thudding you feel more than you hear. You know that sound. When your body gets louder than your thoughts. You can't quite locate where your thinking mind went. 5 words. That's all it took. My body didn't need a paragraph to decide it was in danger. I was standing in my kitchen. The phone was still warm in my hand. My breath had gone shallow, high in my chest. And somewhere between the second and third reading, I wasn't fully in my kitchen anymore. Some part of me was 17 again, in a different kitchen, hearing a different version of those same words. Some part of me was 26 again, standing in a hallway I hadn't stood in for years. I was every version of me who ever got a message like that right before something broke. I wasn't standing in my kitchen anymore. I was standing in every kitchen I'd been hurt in, all at once. The more those old moments stacked up in that single instant, the less that Tuesday text felt like 5 neutral words, and the more it felt like a verdict already decided by someone who wasn't even in the room with me. My hands were noticeably cold. My stomach had that specific hollow drop, like missing a stare in the dark. And my mind had already started drafting an apology for something I couldn't even name yet. Here's the part I think that matters the most, and it took me a long time to understand it without shame. In the middle of all the physical activation, my mind didn't just sit there and feel the sensations. It went to work immediately, building a case. What he was probably going to say, what I'd probably done wrong. None of that was based on anything he'd actually said. 5 words, that's all the information I had. But your mind does this to protect you. It's trying to make sense of a feeling that big, that fast, and a feeling that size needs a story that size to justify it. The feeling comes first, the story comes after, scrambling to match up. My prefrontal cortex wasn't offline. It was just working overtime to justify a fear my body had already decided was true. And then, I don't fully know what made me do this. I put the phone down, not dramatically, just set it flat on the counter. And I put my hand flat against the counter itself, feeling how cool it was under my palm. A physical fact that had nothing to do with any story. And I asked myself one question. Is this happening now? Or is this a receipt? And something in my chest just barely loosened. One hand on a cool countertop, one honest question. That's the whole intervention. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. Maybe you already know what happened next. The conversation, when it came, was completely ordinary. A scheduling thing, nothing close to what my body had spent an hour bracing for. The 5 words were never the threat. The receipts were. The conversation was about a weekend schedule. My body had prepared for a funeral. I wish I could tell you that one countertop moment fixed the pattern permanently. It didn't. What actually changed is smaller than that, and more useful because of it. Now when I feel that tightening in my chest, I've learned to treat it as information instead of instruction. It's telling me something got activated. It's not telling me the danger is real right now in this room. Those are two different jobs. And for a long time, I let the feeling do both. A feeling can tell you something got triggered without telling you the truth about what's actually happening. I also stopped treating the spiral as proof I was too sensitive. I started treating it as evidence of exactly how much I'd survived. That reframe alone changed how gently I could hold myself in the moment that happened. I still get the tight chest sometimes. I don't think that ever fully goes away, and I've genuinely stopped needing it to. What's changed isn't that I'm cured, it's that I have more room. That's not the absence of reaction, that's just a little more room inside it every single time. The goal was never to stop feeling it. The goal was to have enough room inside it to choose what happens next. If you ever wonder which pattern your body defaults to when it's reading old receipts, the relational nervous system quiz will tell you. Mind-fusion.com/quiz. And if you saw yourself in any part of this story, give it a like so it finds someone else who needs it too. Welcome to the regulation era, and I'll see you next time.